ICENET. Dynasties live here.
In Pittsburgh, tonight from the Nassau County Coliseum, the Penguins meet the New York Islanders. Hello again, everybody. This is Mike Lang, and along with Paul Stangerwald, we'll be bringing you tonight's game. The Penguins matching up against the Islanders for the 6th time this season. The highlights we showed you, the Penguins coming out their only victory in the series so far. The Islanders lead it 3-1-1.
Yes, they do, and the Penguins exploded in that win against the Islanders in the third period, scoring 5 goals. And right after that, Mike, the Islanders went on a 5-game unbeaten streak. They responded the same way the Penguins responded to being beaten here by the Islanders 9-0 a few weeks ago.
The Islanders have won a pair of games this week. They've won 9-2 over Toronto and 8-4 over Philadelphia. The Penguins coming in here after victory after beating New Jersey on Wednesday night. One of the keys for the Penguins this year has been good, solid team play, I think, and Dave Hannon certainly has been a big help in that.
He's also been a big help in the penalty killing department, and Dave Hannon is now playing the right wing, Mike, and of course he's been playing the left wing most of the season, but he's playing the right side because Willie Lindstrom is injured. But I think it's just a tribute to his versatility and the fact that he's able to just fit in wherever Bob Berry wants him to fit in. He's accepted his role on the team now, and I think that's an important thing, and I really think that's kind of symbolic of why the Penguins are doing so well this year.
Well, certainly, without question, it does take 25 players to have a winning hockey club with the injuries that they have during the course of the years. Now, for the Islanders, they have some loaded stars here with Brian Trottier, Mike Bossy, and, of course, Dennis Potvin. Mr. Everything here defensively for the Islanders over the years, just set a new NHL record.
Yes, he did. 271 career goals. He broke Bobby Orr's all-time record. He really is one of the greatest players of all time in the National Hockey League. He won the Norris Trophy 3 times. And really, it's Potvin and the guys like Trottier and Bossy and even Clark Gillies, who really isn't going to be dressed tonight, but those guys are the ones who played their best hockey against Pittsburgh in these key situations.
Well, we're looking for an entertaining game. You might be eating dinner or still out at your favorite tavern here this afternoon. Just sit back, relax. We'll have it for you. It's all coming up right here on the Penguins Hockey Network.
And you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held as the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And there's a look at Roberto Romano. He'll be starting in goal for the Penguins tonight. A record of 2-4 lifetime against the Islanders. 3.32 goals against average. His record is 14-11-3. He was in goal for the 6-3 win, and he was in goal in that 9-0 loss here on the island. Roberto Romano and Kelly Rudy was in goal for both of those games too. Lifetime against the Penguins, 4-3. His goals against, 3.38. His record, 9-10-7. He's got 1 shutout. That was the 9-0 win over the Penguins.
Got a goal-getter contestant?
Yes, we do. Paul Johnston, no relation to Eddie Johnston, is our goal-getter contestant here in the first period, going for $100 worth of groceries, and Mike Bullard is Paul's goal-getter.
And Bullard starts for the Penguins with Randy Cunnyworth and Mike Blaisdell. The Islanders slipping into Penguin territory. Bodger back. Tried to swing it out. Finally has it. Centers it for Greg Gilbert. And that is deflected away. Blaisdell of the Penguins sails it back to center ice. Ken Morrow and Paul Boudelier defensively for the Islanders. Up front, Gilbert and Flatley on the wings, and or Donnelly on the wings, and Gilbert working center ice. And now here comes to Blaisdell. Try to go to Bodger, the Penguin defenseman. He got to go as it rolled in behind the Islander cage. Boudelier hit by Blaisdell. Bouncing puck, Bullard trying to cut in, and he put it right on the side of the net, and Rudy makes the squeeze there, the 24-year-old goaltender. Now 41 seconds in. I think the Penguins will play a much better game than the 9-0 game they had here. One thing I think they've got going for them in this one is the fact that the Islanders come off two big, impressive victories here at home. A 9-2 win and an 8-4 win over Philadelphia, 9-2 over Toronto. They are sky high, no question about it, and they're due for a little bit of a letdown. The Penguins might catch them at the right time.
The Islanders have not won more than 2 games in a row all year, Mike, or lost more than 2 in a row, and they've won 2 in a row coming in here tonight.
At the right point, has some room, and his shot deflected in, and Rudy made a good save there. It changed directions and slowed down. Shed behind the Islander goal. Now to Mario Lemieux, the Lake's second leading scorer. Potvin trying to take it away, and he does. Potvin sends it right wing. Mikko Makalo's been red hot, but he can't clear. And Shed chases it. Gordon Dineen, Ruskowski to Lemieux, and he tried to pull it with him and go out in front of the net. He forgot the puck, though. Gets it right point to Mantha. His shot off a blade. Lemieux is after it. Look out. Lemieux goes to the left wing corner. Lemieux turns, shoots it on the net, and Rudy made that stop. Lemieux with a very tough angle shot there. And Rudy made the stop. Well, Brian Trottier returning to the ice. We did not see him go off. He must have went off just after the warm-up. Or when they came out, he might have had some equipment problems.
Last time in here, you may recall that Norm Schmidt took a penalty very early in the game. The Islanders went to work on that power play right away. It's good to see the Penguins with the puck in their end of the rink to start this game here tonight.
Penguins beating New Jersey on Wednesday night at the Meadowlands Arena. Final there was 4-1. And the Isles now with Dwayne Sutter in control of the puck. Brent Sutter, Dwayne Sutter, and Mikko Makala offside of the Penguin line. Well, the Sutter brothers working here, and of course the Sutter brothers play for Philadelphia. The twin brothers, Rich and Ron, they had a big battle going here on Thursday night. In fact, they got kind of physical, especially in the third period. The Islanders jumped out to a quick 5-0 lead. And the Islanders have had the number on the Flyers. They've done pretty well against Pittsburgh. They're the best team in the Patrick Division against opponents in the division. They're 12-5-2 against Patrick Division teams.
We had a look at the 2 coaches there on our TV screen, Al Arbor and Bob Berry.
Schmidt finds Lemieux. And Mario's not a 9-game point-scoring streak. Lifted back, Thomas Janssen. Skate stop behind his own goal. Swing it left side to the former Penguin, Randy Boyd. Outlet to Mike Bossy, and he's been red hot. And he is flying, too. We watched him in the warm-up, and he just seems to get the motor going all the way on all 8 cylinders. Back it goes to center. Thomas Janssen relays it to Bob Bourne. Trottier, Bourne, and Bossy. The unit out for Al Arbor now. Played by Bob Erie, and it goes into Penguin ice. Penguins are going to put Shabbat's line with Dave Hannon and Bob Erie to check against this Trottier unit. Tough job tonight. Rudy stops the puck behind the Islander net. Bourne and Shabbat digging for it. And it's Trottier. Trottier to Janssen looking for Bossy, trying to get a step behind Bob Erie. Boy, Erie's got himself a tough job to handle tonight. Having to check Mike Bossy. Back behind the cage, centered out Trottier, and it went right by Bob Bourne and goes all the way back into New York territory.
Almost looks like the Penguins are making a very conscious effort to get those forwards back, and they're playing very defensive-minded right now here in the early moments of this hockey game.
Randy Cunningham works it in. Boyd behind his own net, hammered by Bullard on a check. But Janssen comes over to gather the disc in, plays it outside the line. Busquets puts it in, and we've got to stop on the action. No score here in period number 1. We're in New York, and this is the Penguins Hockey Network. Dominant this Islander team. Their last 6 home games, they've outscored the opposition 43-14. They have just been devastating. Their record at home, 13-8-6. It's been very tough. But tonight's another night, and Ken Morrow leads it for Paul Boudelier. Boudelier lifted it off a stick. It'll be an offside call against the Islanders in the Penguin zone. The Penguins on the road are now 10-13-2. and a much better road record this season than last, and they're just one shy of tying all of last season's mark as far as wins are concerned on the season.
There's Paul Boudelier, one of many players who, as you can see, has gone to the eyewear, the special visor on the helmet. John Tonelli has put that on also, and I would think that it's really hit close to home with Bob Nystrom suffering that eye injury, and they're saying that that might end his career. The detached retina.
Gordy Deneen plays it in. The Islanders have yet to register a shot here against Romano. Here's Makela. Back behind the net. Sutter in front. A quick shot. Romano the save. Rebound score. Brent Sutter put it in. The Islanders take a 1-0 lead. Well, Romano did not seem to know where the puck was, and neither did anybody in front of the net. Brent Sutter right there to cram it home, and the Islanders lead 1-0.
That goal sort of came out of nowhere with Sutter getting the quick shot away. Romano made a nice glove save on him. You see here, Dwayne Sutter just snaps it off. He one-timed it. Romano made the save, looked for the puck in his glove, but it was down next to his skate, and Sutter was able to find it and put it into the net. There's Dwayne Sutter just shooting it right off the arm of Romano. He looked for the puck, and Brent Sutter came in and put it in behind him to give him a 1-0 lead.
So the Islanders strike first, and they have a 1-0 lead. Well, the Finns had outshot them 2-0. The Islanders came right back at two shots, one by Dwayne Sutter, the other by Brent. And Brent Sutter gets his 13th of the year on the rebound play.
That line's been very hot. They've been playing very well together. Mikko Makela, a guy who started the season with some injuries, and he seems to be coming on now. And he is helping make that line more productive. And, of course, Brent Sutter's been bothered by injuries, too, Mike. There's a look at Brent right there. He scored 42 goals last year. He's only got 13 now, but now that he's got those injuries behind him, he's starting to play the kind of hockey he can play.
Randy Boyd will work the puck deep into the Penguin zone. Romano couldn't get a piece of it. Left wing. And Dave Hannon of Pittsburgh. And the Islanders force it around that net. Well, I thought it might be important for the Penguins to get the opening goal against this New York team. They'll have to fight very hard now because the Islanders, as we said, are on a roll. And when they get the motor going, they're awfully tough to stop. Mike Bossy leads up for Trottier. Nice move on Shabbat down the left wing. Mantha to beat. Good check by Mantha. Takes him off the disc. Hannon in front of his own net. Lay it ahead of Bob Erie. And Erie with good speed coming to the off wing right side. Going to try and beat Boros. Got a step or Boyd. He put it on the net. Rudy made that stop. Mantha gets it. Man open right side. Shabbat looks, shoots it. And it's stopped in front by the Islanders. Bob Bourne. Around the horn for Mike Bossy. He just stepped by Erie with a classic move there. Lifted it up ice. Trottier lets it go, and the Islanders go to a line change. The Islanders lead 1-0 on a Brent Sutter goal, 3:28. Morrow put it up ahead. Schmidt is crunched, and boy, was he hit. Whoever hit him, Boudelier, was hit by Frawley from behind. Now Tonelli in there, too, and Dan Frawley making things happen for the fans as he gets involved. Ray Gilbert has his helmet torn off. Yeah, Frawley took exception to the check on Schmidt. And Dan Frawley, another one of the workhorses for the Penguins, gives you a little muscle. Not afraid to mix it up, and the same type of player as Davey Hannon. Maybe a little more physical than Davey. And we'll take a timeout. The Islanders lead 1-0 first period here in New York. And you're watching the game on the Penguins hockey. Penguins with Craig Simpson, Troy Loney, and Dan Frawley. This line right now nicknamed the Pumpkin Line.
They wear orange scrimmage jerseys in practice. The fourth line. That's why they call themselves that.
Might not be for long. That has a tendency to change. But for tonight anyway, we'll give them that nickname and see what they can do. We're past Halloween. The icing call against the Islanders.
There's Norm Schmidt. Bothered by knee injuries, but is able to play with that pain. He's wearing 2 knee braces.
He's a bad back, too. Tough to get that young guy out of the lineup.
He's been a big addition to the Penguins on that right side. And has played... Penguins have been an over 500 hockey team since he joined the lineup back when the Penguins were playing the Devils early in the year.
Left point, Jim Johnson fires one. That deflected wide of Rudy. He might have got a pad on that. He didn't see it coming. He was screened on it. Back to center come the Islanders. Brent Sutter. Snap it away to the Penguin zone. Schmidt, the pass too hard, and it came outside the line. Fortunately for the Penguins there. You know, that pass had trouble written on it right there. Came off the boards. That Brent Sutter had intercepted that, brought it in cleanly inside the blue line. Dwayne Sutter was there, too. Let's look at the backup tonight. The likable Billy Smith.
Likable? Likable if he's playing for you, and not so likable if he's playing against you.
Mario Lemieux, who was on the ice for that first goal, just this one team he has just not fared well against this year. Lemieux is a -9 to lead everybody on the Penguin squad in that department. The Islanders seem to have his number as far as playing against him. And you've got to give the checkers of the Islanders some credit. They've done a good job, and they've scored while he's been on the ice.
Well, they put Brian Trottier out there most of the time against him in the early games in this series, and he has played very well against Mario, winning a lot of faceoffs.
Lemieux around to the right wing to Shed, now to Bodger. 1-0 New York in the first period. We played over 5.5 minutes, and we've got an offside call against the Penguins. Terry Raskowski in the fence. Give us a big smile there, Terry.
It's amazing. He's got 17 goals now. That's more than he's ever scored in a single season in the National Hockey League. Got a 17th goal in New Jersey the other night. The game-winning goal, too, if I'm not mistaken.
He's got 5 game-winning goals on the season with the 17 he's had. That's the highest mark in the Penguins spot. Here are the Islanders now with Brent Sutter, and he's got room. Sutter coming to the Penguins in, cuts inside, drop pass right side. Here's Dineen in deep. But it was the goal mouth, and that one's wide of the case. Potvin left side, he shoots one, and Romano got that with a glove and held on. Well, the Islanders made that happen, not from the play in there, but from their own end. The Penguins got trapped back up ice with nobody coming back to check. And Dennis Potvin, you give him that disc in that position, you're going to be in tough trouble. Look at this shot.
Looked like it might have hit something on the way in, too. Just after he took the shot, it went up, and Romano made a nice glove save and knocked him over. Mikey Trout, we went to move the puck out, and he lost his balance.
Yeah, Potvin still has the potential. He has 14 goals. He's not slowed that much. He was getting a lot of criticism early in the year. Here's a shot by Boudelier that hit something and went wide of the cage. And Cunneyworth lifts it ahead to Mike Bullard. And the Bullets on the move against Morrow. Fakes a shot. Take it in deep. Morrow follows him all the way around. Rubs him into the boards. Off the puck he goes. And here are the Islanders counterattacking. Tonelli to Greg Gilbert. New York 1, Pittsburgh nothing. Siren beaten on the play, but Flatley can't beat Bo Mantha. Mantha did a good job of recovering to get over and help out. Cunneyworth of Pittsburgh. Oh, he couldn't clear, and it comes right point. Flatley. Cunneyworth is down on the ice. The puck went right into him. That's a break again for the Penguins there, as the puck came back in underneath the body of Randy Cunneyworth.
He knew Greg Gilbert was right behind him, and he wanted to make a little move on him, get him going one way, and he was going to get the puck and go the other way, and his skates went out from under him, and he went crashing into the boards, and fortunately landed up on top of the puck. Cunneyworth also scored a goal the other night in New Jersey. First goal.
Well, the Penguins with 13:29 left here in the first period. The one thing they don't want to do is get behind by maybe 2 or 3 at the end of one. They want to try and stay tight with this New York team. They feel they've got the strength in the third period. They've shown that a lot of times to come back in games. Here's Lemieux to the right side for Doug Shedd. Trying to give it back to Lemieux. Pass was not there, and Brian Trottier corrals it. Trottier, Bossy, and Bohr. That's a bouncing puck. Gathered in by Mo Mantha. Oh, what an offensive season Mantha's having for the Penguins. All the way around. His best pro year ever, and that's dropped up Potvin's blade. The Islander captain since 79-80 when they won their first Stanley Cup. Gave it away to Raskowski, however. Now to Lemieux. Mario with a pass intended for Shed. Can't make that happen. Mantha drills it in. Rudy left it for Potvin. And again, he coughs it up. Norm Schmidt threw it into the zone, and we've got an offside play. Well, we have a 1-0 New York lead. And what do we tell the folks when we want to go to a break?
That this is the Penguins Hockey Network.
We have John Tonelli now playing center ice here with Greg Gilbert and Pat Flatley. Patrick Flatley, who had 2 goals against the Flyers on Thursday. Tonelli weaves his way into the Penguins in. That's checked aside, and Dave Hannon with some room. Going to the right wing. It's off wing. Drop pass for Schmidt. And he can't shoot it. Look out, here are the Islanders, 3-on-2. Johnson will try and beat Tonelli. It's dropped in the slot, and a check from behind by Erie, and the puck rolled away to the far side. Mike Noah, the referee tonight. Here's Pearson shooting, scoring. It was deflected in by Pat Flatley. The Islanders now have a 2-0 lead. I believe Patrick Flatley got the last stick on it. Pearson shot the puck, but I believe it was touched on the way in.
Pearson getting it, teeing it up, keeping it low. It was on its edge when he took the shot. It hit something on the way in before it ever got to Flatley. It hit somebody's body and deflected into the net, I believe. Looks like it hit one of the Penguins.
Boy, is that a knuckleball type of shot?
That shot hit about 3 different things on the way in. Then it went to the ground and bounced into the net. Went to the ice. It hit the ice and went in.
Well, when you're hot, you're hot. And the Islanders,
It hit the Penguin who went down to block the shot. It hit that Penguin right there.
That's Flatley. That's Flatley who got the stick on it. I'm pretty sure he got the goal.
And then Flatley hit it to get the goal. So it hit 3 different objects on the way in. Players. And that's tough to stop if you're a goaltender when puck changing directions and speeds like that.
So the Islanders now with a 2-0 first period lead. And they dump, the Penguins do, dump into the Islanders zone. It's over the head of Rod Busquets. Frontier trying to make a move. Flatley does get the goal, his 16th. And it will be Roger ripping the puck in. Frontier avoids a check by Cunneyworth here. The Islanders 4-man rush to the Penguin line. Romano's coming out of the net to cut the angle down. Now he goes back in a little bit, and it's moved up the center. And Romano's saying, hey, I'm going to challenge some people now. I'm not going to sit back all night and let them beat me. They've come with 2 quick goals here in the first period. Bourne on the right wing. Busquets hammers him against the board. Cunneyworth looking for room, and it comes to Mike Bullard. And he sweeps the puck deep into the Islanders' zone. Penguins beat New Jersey 4-1 on Wednesday, but they did not have a particularly strong game against the Devils. They had snapped a 3-game winless streak. And right now they had the early going, had a couple of shots against Kelly Rudy. But now they've had nothing really to write about for the last 9 minutes. Here's Frawley cutting in. His wrist shot, and that's stopped by Rudy. Well, Dan Frawley got an angle, and he got in tight on Rudy, who smothered up on the near post and made the stop.
It's a nice shot by Frawley because he was skating to his left, and I think maybe Rudy was wondering if he wouldn't go to his backhand and try to cut across that goal mouth. But he kept the puck down by his skates and just snapped that shot off, and it looked like it hit Rudy in the pads and caught him by surprise, and he was able to kneel down on top of the puck and cover it up. Kelly Rudy, an outstanding young goaltender. Remember when he first came up, I asked Bill Torrey about him if he reminded him of anyone. He said maybe a little bit of Glenn Hall because of the way he stands up so well. Hall would flop around. It looked like he was flopping, but he would always manage to stay up in those situations when a lot of goaltenders would take themselves out of position, and Rudy really is able to hang in and stay in position and make that second save.
Well, let's see if this pumpkin unit can get the Penguins back in. This hockey game down 2-0. There's Frawley's quick shot right up on the big insignia of the New York Islanders on the chest of Kelly Rudy. Played in Medicine Hat, Alberta. Cold up there.
For Rod Busquets played hockey also.
Mantha lost it to Janssen, and Janssen steers it back to the Penguin line. Pass by Mantha. Out there for Frawley. It does deflect into the Islanders' zone. And it goes right in behind the New York net. Loney of Pittsburgh, just recalled from Baltimore. Got it to Frawley. Frawley playing well. Goes behind the net. Frawley looks first. Oh, here is Loney as he hammered by Pearson. Nothing called there. Gilbert got him. Rammed him right into the goalpost. All right, we'll take a timeout as Loney gets himself up. Boy, was he hit hard on that play. 10:23 to go, and he's in a bit of pain as he gets up. The Islanders by 2, and this is the Penguins Hockey Network. New York Islanders with a 2-0 lead. Lemieux against Brent Sutter. And Brent Sutter pulls the faceoff back for Gordonine. Nobody can seem to find the puck. Lemieux will. Mario tried to center. Potvin, good defensive play, blocked it, but it comes to Schmidt. His shot, that deflected. Lemieux's going after it. Lemieux turns, shoots it in. Rudy didn't see it till the last second, and he stopped it with his body and smothers up again with that glove hand. Well, the Islanders are getting a little luck here in this first period. There's no question about that. The goal by Flatley was certainly a deflection, and they've had a couple of shots shot at Rudy, who hasn't seen him at all, but he's been able to make the stops. Here's Lemieux dancing with it.
Nice shot. It just kind of trickled in on Rudy, and he was able to make the save. It came through the skates of one of the Penguins there. It was Ruskowski.
From the draw this time, Schmidt's shot was blocked. Mikko Makala, the rookie. Lemieux comes up trying to take it away. It does force a mistake. Lemieux has the puck looking for Shedden, but he can't quite get to it. Here's the pass relay down to Dwayne Sutter. Up ahead to center to brother Brent. Dwayne is hit heavily on a check by Jim Johnson. He appeared to be hurt on that play. Around the far board, Brent Sutter trying to keep it in. He will. That's where the Islanders are beating Pittsburgh right now. Getting the puck to stay in the zone. They're going to the points and beating Pittsburgh to it. Penguins lift it back to center, and Potvin snaps it right back in. Now, territorial advantage is a big part of the game of hockey. You can keep that puck in the other team's end. You'll tire them out after a certain amount of time, having to go back and get it all the time. Here's Shedden moving up. Shedden's got some room. They let him go, and he fired it right off Boutilaire's leg. Johnson behind the net. Morrow ties up Lemieux. Shedmiller and Rudy jumping out to the right of the goal. Gets the glove on it, and again snares it. Doug Shedden of the Penguins with 23 goals on the year now.
He's got 13 points in his last 12 games. Needs 2 more goals to get 150. Shedden scored a big goal against the Islanders to start that Penguin barrage in the 3rd period. Mario Lemieux setting him up on a beautiful goal on a power play, and that's what got the Penguins back into that hockey game, and they went on to beat the Islanders.
You could see Troy Loney, the big redhead of the Penguins, and you could see him still in some pain. He has his helmet off. Not so sure how hard he was hit on that play into the goal post. Boy, going to Blaisdell, slap shot. He shoots and scores, and Blaisdell gives the Penguins their first goal. Oh, great balls of fire. Boy, did Blaisdell blister that one.
Did he ever? You could hear it ring off the post up here. He's got a tremendously accurate shot. We've seen him score some goals from almost impossible angles this year. And when you give him some time, he puts that eagle eye on it, and he blasted it off the far post into the net. He just wrung it off that post to make it 2-1.
Well, Bullard with an excellent play to help set him up.
It's his 13th of the year.
Third goal, his 13th of the season, scored by number 26, Mike Blaisdell.
If you could slow that down, you could see his stick bending. He put every ounce of muscle he had into that shot.
Blaisdell giving the Penguins their first goal. Here's Bob Erie into the New York zone. Trying to leave it right wing for Dave Hannon. Hannon to the right point to Buskus, but Sinelli strips him of it. Sinelli pushed it up to center. Bodger was hit on a heavy check by Pat Flatley. And here's Greg Gilbert to the Penguins end. Left side to Sinelli. Look out. He's got a man in front, but he couldn't get it to him as Buskus made the play to knock it away. Sinelli behind the net. Bodger goes for it. Sinelli rams the stick into him and slams him against the board. But it'll be Bob Erie getting that puck. And Bodger comes off the ice. The Penguins go to a change on defense. Erie in deep. Boy, Rudy at times looks a little shaky to me here in this first period. He's just not quite reading the plays. And if the Penguins can get some shots on him here, they might be able to take advantage of him. He's leaning in the wrong way. Just a little thing we're noticing. That probably won't mean much, but we'll see if Hannon can get it to somebody open. Billy Sieren's way in deep. Swinging around the boards with Randy Boyd. He hits Dave Hannon. Right point, Mantha. And he shot one. The reason I'm saying that about Rudy is that on several occasions the puck is deflected in on him. He hasn't seen it for the last second. And even that little move there, just kind of a late second reaction from what you normally would see. Boyd going to center. 2-1 the Islanders lead. That puck lifted away and taken by Loney, who's right back in the action, so he's all right. He'll wrist one. That missed the net. Loney's after it. He'll be the first man there, and the Penguins are coming on right now. Mike Bossy going to Trottier. He can't clear here with the Penguins, and Simpson had it taken off his stick by Trottier. Lead it ahead for Bossy, and you can't give him too much room. Bourne right to Billy Siren of Pittsburgh. His pass up the center of the ice. The Islanders wait for people to get onside. And they didn't. Trottier was offside. Now we've played 12 minutes and 55 seconds here in period number 1. The Islanders lead 2-1. And this is the Penguins Hockey Network. Here's the face-off outside of the Penguin line. And Lemieux gave it right to Trottier. Trottier drop pass down to Bourne. A slap shot, and he just missed the net. Raskowski trying to wind it out. Boy, Mario has some problems against this New York team. And it's turned away off the boards, back down to New York territory. Gord Dineen, his brother Kevin here. The Penguins stealing, and Shedden put it in front for Raskowski, and it went by his stick. Lemieux's got it now. Mario trying to make a move. A wrist shot. Oh, Rudy just reached for the glove and made that save on Mario Lemieux. Boy, Rudy again just got that puck with a glove hand. That was an excellent save, but I just get that feeling, Paul, the way he leaned that way. He was leaning the other way, and he just got back enough to cover it.
And Mario really did take a nice shot there. That's a really tough place to make a save because you have to be able to do the splits and stretch out and glove it. Otherwise, you're not going to get it. It's just high enough that it gets over the toe, and it's so low that it's very difficult to get a stick out there and knock it away or anything like that. You almost just have to get the glove on it and do as big a stretch as you can make. There's Bob Bourne blasting one. Looked like he had Romano beaten on that shot. He really blasted that one wide of the net.
Jimmy Johnson put the shot on, and Rudy made that stop. I'll tell you what happens, too, when you get goaltending like this. If you don't get them when they got the opportunity, boy, you may never get them. It's like a pitcher in baseball. You got him on the ropes in the first inning, and if you don't get him, he'll get stronger. And the Islanders right now with a 2-1 lead. And I think the Penguins need to get another goal here to get back into this game. They've outshot the Islanders 9-4.
Now, we've seen Billy Smith go through these spells here also and then recover from it.
Yeah, we sure have. And here's Smith's shot on the net. Rudy got the goaltender's play to that. That one didn't have much on it at all. Brent Sutter, lead pass to him. On the right wing to Mikko Makela. Makela, European skater, can play either wing, and he put it in between the circles, and John Shabbat broke up the play to Dave Hannon on the right wing. Left to the blue line. That should be a live puck. Oh, it looked to me like it was on the line and left right there. And the linesman Leon Stickel and Mark Vine said that it went outside the line. We'll pause right now with the Islanders in the lead, 2-1. This is the Penguins Hockey Network. Penguins trailing by 1 with 5:48 left in the first period. And Ken Morrow. Off the boards, Bodger had it for the Penguins. Flatley recovers to take it, and he worked it by Bodger in behind the Penguin net. That goal by Blaisdell seems to have given the Penguins an extra lift here. Ruskowski finds Shedden. He goes right back to Ruskowski. Right wing, the pass too far for Busquets. And Boudelier back to Corrales. Tonelli right wing to Pat Flatley. Tonelli was knocked off his skates. Here's Flatley. Drop pass to Tonelli. Got a man wide open. Gilbert cutting for the net, but he missed the shot, and he went right into goaltender Roberto Romano. That was kind of a setup play. I guess he figured if he didn't get the net and put it on, he'd just go right into the goaltender and cause some problems. Gilbert hobbled a bit, though, as he gets himself up. I'd be curious to see if he was touched from behind going in. It looked to me like he just tried to bowl his way in and just overpower Romano with that big physical frame that he has. Let's see.
He was wide open.
Ruskowski got back to get a stick on him. That's what happened. We'll give Ruskowski some credit for some good hustle coming back.
Flatley made the play to Tonelli, and he made a real nice little backhand pass through Busquets' legs to Gilbert. And Romano coming out to challenge there may have upset Gilbert a little. He lost his balance and went crashing into her.
Deneen put it in the slot off Bossy's skate. Blaisdell finds Bulletin. He's flying. The bullet coming to the Islanders' zone. Trying to leave it left wing for Cunningworth. That won't happen. And Bossy. The board on left wing. Mantha took it away from him. Cunningworth pass right through, checking Bossy, and it comes to Bullard. He moves in, a drop pass to Siren. Siren wristing one. And that will not find the target. 4.5 left, period number 1. The Islanders lead 2-1 here at home at the Nassau County Coliseum. Penalty coming up as Bullard was pulled down by Deneen. And Mike, I think, helped draw that one. And the Penguins will get the first power play chance of the night. The Islanders lead by 1. It is 2-1 New York, and this is the Penguins Hockey Network.
Kevin, son of Bill, in the box for hooking at 15:40, and he was really upset with the call, maybe even upset with himself, but Mike Bullard appeared to have drawn that penalty as only he can do it, and the Penguins have the power play.
Roger Korko, penalty killing for the Islanders. They are now 12th in the league. Boy, we saw them earlier in the season. They were around the 18th or 19th mark in penalty killing. The Penguin power play is 15th now. Lemieux to the left wing. Ruskowski has room. He'll swing in, drop it for Shed. Can't find it. And the Islanders steer it up ice. They have 2 shorthanded goals, including one against the Penguins in the season series. Lemieux will feed Doug Bodger with 1.5 minutes to go, and the penalty to Gordy Deneen. Good checking by Kortko. And Lemieux, or Mantha's pass broken up again. Johnson after it. Gets it behind the Penguin net. He wants a face-off, and Bodger wants the puck. Here's Lemieux taking the lead pass. He goes in, stops at the right point. Potvin's a tough man to beat. Got it, Ruskowski. Back to Lemieux. Look out here. Slap shot, and the save made by Rudy. The rebound out, and Gilbert cleared. Well, Lemieux's had some heavy shots here against Rudy in the first period. 53 to go in the penalty to Deneen. Norris Schmidt looking for Billy Siren on right wing. Can't go that way. Now he does, finally. Wristed off the boards behind the cage. Rudy will give it to Pearson. Potvin got it, and that's almost dead sure to be out of the zone with the great strength that he has with the wrist. But he asked us not too long ago about the defensive plays, or at least people we've seen. There's a long play by the Penguins with the Islanders in. But as far as Lemieux working against defensemen in the NHL, in the times we see him, Potvin's been the best against him. Here's Trottier coming down, split to the fence. Romano has to move the puck away. Remember, the Penguins have a power play. Mike Bullard looking for Blaisdell. 2-1 game. The Islanders lead. Blaisdell. Boudelier to beat. Takes off. Skating well. Centers it. Trottier anticipated. Good play there by Trottier. He'll kill the penalty. Up to Bossy, right wing. Coming for the Penguin net. He shoots it, but it went wide to the far post. Penalty coming up against the Penguins now, and the Islanders will get a power play. Bossy now, and Cunnyworth have some words. And now Trottier comes over to take a shot at Randy Cunnyworth. Cunnyworth will sit down. The Islanders go to the power play with 2:17 to go in the period. Slashing call. Now Bossy has scored a couple of goals in a similar situation this year, getting his own rebound back and putting it in.
Cunnyworth had no choice. He had to try something, so he really chopped on Mike Bossy's shoulder and may have upset him a little. And then he went back after Bossy. But that was one heck of a slash. He came across the shoulder blade of Mike Bossy with that stick, and he's off for slashing.
Well, players don't like that, believe me, because the wood is tough on you. But he's doing everything he can to try and keep him from scoring. He did that. Now the Penguins have to kill a penalty. Brent Sutter to the Penguins in. Leave it for brother Dwayne. Left point, Potvin. He fires, and that's off the stick of Romano. Hannon clears. The Islanders on the power play, 16th in the league. The Penguin penalty killing is also 16th. 74.5%. 1:50 to go in the period. Now a minute and a half. Penalty will have less time than the period. This is Brent Sutter. Jim Johnson knocked him off his skate. 2-1 game. The Islanders lead. Jim Johnson, the rookie defenseman. He'll skate up and find the opening to take the heat out of a hot kitchen. I think the Penguins get out of this period down by just one. The way they played, they've outshot the Islanders pretty well here in this period. They might have a real shot at picking up some points here tonight. Rod Buskus gave it away, though, to Mike Bossy. He's been the dangerous sharpshooter. Bossy, 16 points in his last 5 games. Potvin comes down near side. Around to Tonelli, center point, Johnson. Back to John Tonelli. Loves to shoot from there. Does, and he scores. Well, Tonelli loves to shoot from either circle, especially on the right wing side. He beat Romano, I think, on the short side. And the Penguins give up a power play goal, and it's now 3-1 Islanders.
Mike, in all honesty, I think Roberto Romano's having some problems here tonight also. He's been shaking his head after making some saves here in the first period. Tonelli really let this one blast, but he was beaten on the short side, and he went for a long skate after he allowed that goal, as if he was upset with himself. Watch Tonelli tee it up. He scored a few goals on Romano from that spot right there, and he beats Romano on the short side.
Yeah, Romano giving that one up.
18th of the season.
Number 18 for John Tonelli. The Islanders set up the power play nicely. Janssen will get an assist.
The assist to number 3, Thomas Janssen.
Now we've got Frawley, and here goes Frawley and Gilbert. They're going to go to it. Frawley and Greg Gilbert. Dan Frawley and Greg Gilbert are firing. Frawley has his helmet off. Now he goes down. He's trying to get back up, and Gilbert is on top of him. There weren't too many punches thrown there by either man.
Gilbert was on top of him, and Frawley flipped him over his back and was able to end up getting Gilbert underneath him.
Potvin and Thomas Janssen get an assist on the goal. The Islanders. John Tonelli shoots it from 25, and now Gilbert and Frawley will go to the locker room.
I think Roberto Romano is...
Well, Romano was bombed here. There's no question about it. 9-0, and he might be thinking about that, and it might be preying on his mind. And the Islanders have 3 goals, and at times he has been a little confused, it would appear, in the net.
Number 28, Dan Frawley. Islanders penalty. Number 17, Greg Gilbert.
See Frawley pulling at Gilbert, and then Gilbert got the stick in him, whacked him right across the back of the legs, right behind the knee, and that hurts an awful lot. And that's how the fight started. It's the one place that players aren't protected, in the hamstring area there behind the knee, and he really cracked him good with the stick.
Well, you entertain the thought now with 55 seconds to go. Would the Penguins at the end of the period, if the Islanders do not score again, would they consider making a goaltending change? Would they feel that would be warranted? The Islanders have only 6 shots and they have 3 goals. That might be a possibility.
I was going to say, I saw Jimmy Roberts walk over and say something to Bob Berry right after the goal was scored, and they were having a little discussion over there. And we'll see what happens.
Well, Joe Malash coming off a game in which he was the #1 star against the New Jersey Devils. Not taking anything away from Romano. He just might not have it tonight. We have 30 seconds to go on the icing infraction.
And I might add, Mike, that Romano played an unbelievable game in that 6-3 win. You might remember in the first period, the Penguins were still feeling the effects of that 9-0 loss. They were back on their heels in the first part of that game, and the Islanders, I believe, took 15 shots in the first period in that game, and Roberto made at least 5 or 6 outstanding saves. He was very aggressive in goal and played extremely well in that game, and was one of the stars of the game.
Well, Lemieux comes out with Boogert and Shed. No firepower here for the Penguins. As we have 30 seconds to go, and Mr. Trottier will get the assignment of handling the face-off against Mario Lemieux. And from a defensive end, now Brent Sutter comes on. He'll be joined. Yep, Brent Sutter had gone to the circle. Now Bob Bourne. He might have been waved back out. Bourne will have to stay on now. Lemieux against Trottier. Islanders win the draw, and Potvin splattered up the boards. So looking for Bossy behind the defense. Boy, Potvin has those great pinpoint passes he can do at times, too, with those headman plays. He has been a tremendous player in the National Hockey League. Now in his 13th year. Shed. Into the left wing corner. 10 seconds left in the period. Bossy works it out. This one should end with the Islanders leading 3-1. Mantha returns. Couldn't get it to Lemieux, but time runs out. That's it. The end of the first period. So the Islanders continue their hot way. As they score 3 times in the period, they lead Pittsburgh 3-1. At the end of the first period, as we tell you, this is the Penguins Hockey Network.
If you look at last year's scoring results, you won't find one Penguin player who finished in the plus column with the plus-minus statistics. But then again, last year the Penguins didn't have this guy, Randy Cunneyworth. Randy was spending his 4th season with the Rochester Americans of the American Hockey League. Right now, Cunneyworth is leading the Penguins with a plus 16. And what that stat says more than anything else is that Randy is finally making the most of his opportunity to show what he can do in the National Hockey League.
After being 4 years in the minors, you start to wonder yourself if you're capable to play in this league. And I thought to myself, the only way I'm going to find out is if I make my move and get out of the Buffalo organization and go to a team that could possibly use me. And, you know, I think it's worked out for the best.
As far as waiting to get to the NHL, I think we were both just pretty even about it. I mean, he was playing hockey, and, I mean, no matter where he played hockey, I was still proud of him, and we were still together and everything, so it didn't really matter. So I think, I don't know if I keep your spirits up or not. I don't know. I try, but we're both pretty even-tempered, so he doesn't bring his work home a lot of times, and I don't tell him how to play hockey or give him pointers or anything, so we're both take it easy.
With Rochester, I was always more or less a fill-in man for injuries, and I enjoyed that. I enjoyed playing different positions. Over the years, I've played every position except goaltender, and I think that just helps my aspect of hockey and, you know, in hockey. If I can help out at any position, then that's fine by me because I like the change and the adjustment. Beginning of this season, I didn't set out to be the best plus-minus man, but all of a sudden it is a little bit more important because I am a bit proud of the fact that I am leading the team in plus-minus. I think it reflects on the fact that I'm, you know, playing a pretty good game, but it also reflects on the players I'm playing with. Mike Bullard, Doug Shedden, and Mike Blaisdell the odd time on the right side. And credit's got to go to the rest of your line mates because you can't do it alone.
Randy, I noticed the teammates have been ribbing you a little bit about being a rookie, but you don't really think of yourself as a rookie, do you?
No, the guys like to have their fun, and you know, they see that little, you know, star right beside my name, meaning I'm a rookie in the stats sheets and everything. But you know, it is my 5th year pro, and I've gone through a lot. You certainly learn a lot when you're in the minors. I think it hardens you to a certain extent, and I think I'm pretty well prepared for the National Hockey League.
Mike Keenan, I believe, said that hard work is a form of talent. Would you agree with that?
Hard work is certainly a talent, and over the years I've played on some teams that did not have as much talent as our opponent, say, and we were certainly the underdogs, but we ended up winning the series or the games or whatever. Hard work is probably more important than talent, although it's nice to have the talent too. But I don't think the talent's going to help you. The talent's not willing to work. I think of myself as a well-rounded hockey player. I really don't do one thing any better than another, really. I really do enjoy the physical aspect of the game. It's, I get a big thrill out of making a good body check and coming up with the puck. I think I played the game for fun more than, thinking about, oh boy, I can make so much money and so on. I really, truly enjoy the game. I just love it. And there's nothing, I would rather be doing than playing hockey.
Well, we begin period number 2 with the Penguins trailing 3-1. And the puck turned over to the Islanders zone. Over to Pittsburgh, had it taken away by Trontier. And the puck put down the far wing, but Boudelier hit on a check by Cunneyworth. This will be an icing call against New York. And we're 21 seconds into the period. And who can win some groceries?
I'll tell you who. Shell Kohler of Pittsburgh is our Giant Eagle goal-getter contested. Shell will be going for $200 worth of groceries on our goal-getter contest. Paul Johnston did not win in the first period. Mike Bullard failed to score, but he will get gift certificates for Armor Meats and 2 tickets to an upcoming Penguins game. And if you would like to join our Giant Eagle goal-getter contest, all you have to do is stop by any Giant Eagle supermarket, pick up an entry blank, and mail it to the Penguins and tell us who you think is going to score a goal for the Pens. And if that person scores, you win groceries. So let a Penguin put some groceries on your table and join the Giant Eagle goal-getter contest soon at any Giant Eagle supermarket.
The Islanders have a 4-point lead over the Penguins in the battle for 3rd place in the Patrick division. Here are the Pens right in front of the net. A quick shot by Hannon. That was off the net. It didn't have too much on it. Hannon's pulled down by Stefan Pearson. By the way, Greg Gilbert of the Islanders, Dan Farley are in the penalty boxes for fighting majors at the end of the first period. Now Pearson and Hannon push and shove, and Hannon gives Pearson a little whack with a glove. Davey came up with a stick. Pearson trying to pick his helmet up.
He pulled Hannon down along the boards, and there was no penalty called, and then Dave giving him a shove.
Well, some folks wanted to say hello to the gang in E4 in the Homestead Post Office. One of the best post offices in the tri-state area. Mike, Debbie, and Brian Conroy, they're spending the weekend in Long Island. Their new niece, Sarah. And Lou and John DeFazio from Johnstown wanted to say hi. Say hello to Pam, Judy, and the Catman back in Newcastle. And hello to the mayor and all my family from Mario up in Ridgeway, PA. His dad is the mayor of Ridgeway. That means we probably won't get a parking ticket if we go up there. At least one time. Shabbat put it in behind the Islander goal. Here's Bob Erie. He's got a chance here to get something going. He comes out. He can't turn and stuff it in. The Islanders gather it in. This is Tonelli. He'll wrist one right on Romano. Stays in the net for the Penguins here to begin period number 2. Well, I think what Bob Berry is trying to do is establish his confidence. But, in fairness, the way Bob does coach, he has a tendency to stay with people the whole game. And I know goaltenders respect that. There are occasions when that situation will present itself. It wasn't obviously clear-cut. I mean, with the goals where they had 4 or 5 goals that were really questionable, but there was a possibility that might happen. Not this time. Johnson shooting, and Romano got the glove up to make that save. Although Romano had a clear angle on that one, and if that one had gone by, then you have to maybe consider making the change, because Johnson was alone at that left point. And then you see the shot.
And he saw it all the way, right there, right into the glove. He just hangs onto it. Another face-off to the right of Roberto.
Romano 14, 11, and 3 on the year at 3.32 goals against average and 1 shutout. That one's off Bob Erie. Flatley carries it in. And Romano got down. He got the stick on that one. And he went up to the green seats here at the Coliseum. We've got the blue seats, green seats, with red seats up above. I don't see any red seats. No. Let's go with the blue and the green here.
They're all expensive, I'll tell you that. Pay a pretty price to watch these Islanders play, and of course, why not? They won 4 Stanley Cups. There's Flatley letting that shot go, and Romano sharp on that one, getting the pad down, deflecting it up over the glass and into the stands.
You pay a pretty price for a cup of coffee here, too. Anything in New York. Here's Mantha. Swing the puck around for Dan Frawley. Or Blaisdell, I beg your pardon. And that one will be called back.
Randy Cunneyworth. He's been a big addition to the Penguins. We're talking about Sean McKenna during the break, the fact that he was traded. He's another one of those Buffalo Sabres players who was up and down from the minor leagues and really never got a shot to really show what he can do. And a lot of people think he can become a good hockey player, and I think Cunneyworth's another example of that. He spent a lot of time in the minor leagues, played every different position. You saw a feature on him during the intermission. He's been a big addition to the Penguins this year.
Well, Cunneyworth's wallet's a little lighter from this trip because on Friday night, here's Bullard shooting one. That went wide. The rookies on the club had the duty of taking all the veterans to dinner, and they had to split the total bill among 4 of them.
Randy doesn't like to think of himself as a rookie either.
Well, he paid, so he's a rookie. Here is Trottier.
He still has all of his hair, which is maybe what he'll get away with, the fact that he played so many years in the minor leagues.
It'd be an expensive haircut, what he had to pay for dinner. Here on the left wing is Bourne. Just over 2 minutes into the second period. 3-1 the Islanders lead. Penguins trying to get a goal. The big goal by the Islanders on the power play at 19 minutes of period number 1. Cunneyworth moves down. Trying to make a move on Morrow. He got around him. He can't center it. Blaisdell behind the cage. This line working hard right now for the Penguins. And it's just like the pits in football. I mean, they're looking for every possible advantage they can get. Cunneyworth now. And is it Bob Bourne? It is. Starting to get the sticks into one another. Well, Randy's got a little mean streak in him tonight. Bourne's no easy customer, believe me.
I'll tell you what else. I'm sure they haven't forgotten the fact that he chopped Mike Bossy earlier with that stick. I don't know why he went back after Bossy. Maybe Mike had done something to Randy right before that, because he went back over to take extension to something Bossy had done, which was kind of ironic because he was the one who whacked Bossy, unless he was just trying to take him off the ice with him because he knew he was going
Bossy's
to
open, and he is a target. That's part of the game, too. And the Islanders just sticking up for their best player. Big right winger, their leading scorer anyway. It's debatable who the best player is on this team with Trottier, Potvin, and Bossy. All 3 All-Stars at one time. By the way, Denny Potvin will not be going to the All-Star game on Tuesday in Hartford. Penguins have 1 representative. Here's the shot by Schmidt. That's blocked. And that'll be Mario Lemieux. Brent Sutter left wing, and Makela behind Johnson shooting. And that's off Romano's arm. Right up on the shoulder. Janine in the slot to Makela for Brent Sutter. He fires one, and I think Romano got a piece of that one too. And the Penguins right now watching Romano get tough here in the early part of period number 2. Potvin leads it up to Mikko Makela. Comes to Shedden, Simpson, and Raskowski, and they try and get Lemieux on here. Simpson is out. I don't see Muriel trying to come on. Maybe he isn't going to come on this line. Here's Simpson bowled over by Dennis Potvin. Raskowski with possession of the puck, going to Simpson. Penguins were very happy, coaches Bob Berry and Jimmy Ravitch, with the play of that line. We talked about Simpson playing with Frawley and Cunneyworth. Of course, Frawley off the line now, serving the penalty on Wednesday night in New Jersey in the Penguins' victory.
Troy Loney played the left side on that line, correct?
Here's Raskowski going right wing to Shed. Shedden pulls up. And the puck's knocked off his stick. Bodger will touch it. We've got an icing call against the New York Islanders, and we've got a 3-1 game with the Islanders leading. Back in a moment here on the Penguins Hockey Network.
You made the comment about Lemieux, Mike. I looked over on the bench and did not see Mario there. And just as I was about to make the comment, we saw Mario come out of the door from the runway. There's the shot by Makela. Boy, what a lucky break there. Went off the shoulder of Romano. He came out to challenge, and it went right off his shoulder and skipped up over the glass. But Lemieux went to the locker room for something, and he's back now on the bench, and I'm sure he'll be back on that line between Raskowski and Shedden on the next shift.
Thomas Janssen, the veteran defenseman, played it up to center to Trottier. Big collision at the Islander line by Pearson and Shabbat. Here's Flatley trying to go left wing to Gilbert. His quick shot. Romano again out to play the angle. Made the stop. Janssen keeps it in with a nice move. Into the far corner, but Bob Erie slams it off the boards. And that one's back to the Islander line. Pearson will find Janssen. 1-0 Four-man break into the Penguins' end. Bodger swings in wide and off the puck. Well, Bodger's become so good at that, not letting people beat him one-on-one, taking the man off the puck and playing him well. The out of the Penguins. Can't make a play to Bob Erie. The Islanders storm back. Langley's on the off one. He tried to center. That's off a skate. The Penguins anticipating well. And we've got an offside call against the Islanders. Well, the Penguins, I think, have picked the tempo up here in the early part of period number 2. We're 5 minutes in.
Mike, it's been interesting how on several occasions here when the Islanders are rushing up ice, we've noticed that the Penguin defensemen have been coming over to take the man with the puck, and they're leaving the winger open coming down the left or right side. A couple of times the Penguin defenseman has come across. So watch Mo Mantha come across this time, and you see the pass comes over, and the man is wide open. And that has happened a couple of times here in the first part of the hockey game.
The Islanders already have 7 shots in the period. The Penguins 1. It's a funny type of situation. The Islanders have had some good opportunities, but I don't think the Penguins have played that poorly. I don't think the shots represent the way it's gone so far in the period. Here is a bouncing puck to the Islanders in. Rudy plays it off the far side. Looking for it will be Potvin. Pens have Lemieux, Loney, and Shedden out. Cartier moves in. Gives it down to Bourne. A wrist shot. That save is made by Romano. That was a good shot there. Bossy can't find the rebound, and Shedden leads it up to Lemieux. Has 4 men to beat. Can't do it. Potvin, right wing Bossy. Bossy still centers. Cartier unable to gain possession. Lemieux gives it to Shed. Down the slot, a wrist shot. Down low on Rudy, and he reaches with that glove and holds on. He just very nonchalantly kind of reached down again. Kelly Rudy of the Islanders. Well, he's doing the job, and the Islanders lead 3-1. We'll return. This is the Penguins Hockey Network. Roberto Romano in the net. Here's that play by the Islanders.
Bob Bourne in deep on Romano, and he made the save on him. Good save by Roberto. He's made some big saves here in the second period.
Face-off one to Jim Johnson. Slip shot, and Rudy got a stick on that. The penalty coming up against Boudelier for hauling down Cunneyworth. An interference call. Boudelier will go in, and the Penguins will get the turkey on the table. An opportunity to get right back into this hockey game. We'll pause with the Islanders leading by 2, and this is the Penguins Hockey Network.
MTV is capitalist swill. They take stupid rock and roll and make idiot little films.
She tells me it's easy when you do it right.
Short-handed. They have the puck, though, and the strong wrist of Dennis Potvin. Lifts it up ice. Mo Mantha and Norm Schmidt will be the 2-point men. Off to Schmidt. He whacks it in. Rudy with a good effort to get out and cut the angle off and stop the puck. To Kevin to Gordonine, and he lifts it away. Mantha going to Schmidt. Penguins have Bullard, Blaisdell, and Cunneyworth up front. Bullard to the left side. Deneen ties up Bullard. Blaisdell's over. Potvin's there too. Mantha works it behind the net. Deneen, and got it out of danger. Mantha again shoots it in. Rudy's got it. Potvin. He'll come out in front of the net. He'll shoot it right up the alley, too. He's got such great strength, but he finds the opening in the near boards, and away it goes.
Mike, Rudy appears to be a very good skating goaltender. You notice how quickly he gets back and cuts off those plays in behind the net. The Penguins like to set up that way in the power play, and if the goaltender can get back, he can disrupt the whole plan.
Lemieux with a great pass to Schmidt. Cutting for the net. He puts it in front. Block. Ruskowski's got it. Rudy was down, but he couldn't shoot it. Here comes to Bodger, left point. Now to Lemieux. Back to Bodger. To Mario again. Turns away from a check. Mario holds that puck around the net to Shed and comes out, turning, shooting. Stopped by Rudy. Rebound. Bodger gets it to Lemieux. Got a man open right point. Can he get it to him? He tried, but it went by Schmidt. Mario tried valiantly to try and get that puck to Schmidt. He saw him open out of the corner of his eye. Now Schmidt around. 18 to go on the penalty. Stolen by Janssen. Janssen beats Schmidt. Left it for Gilbert. That big frame. Bodger has to tie him up. Gilbert wants a face-off. The Penguins want the puck. 5 seconds to the penalty. And here's Ruskowski. The Islanders kill another penalty. Wiskowski hit heavily by Boudelaire and sent off his skates. Right down on his wallet. He'll run Morrow. Didn't get much on that. Boyd and Shedden collide. Boyd puts it up in the air. Shedden and Boyd still bouncing each other around. Gilbert drives it out of his own zone to center circle. And Siren carried it in. We have an offside play. Guess what? We're going to take a timeout. 11:42 to go. Second period. The Islanders lead 3-1. And this is the Penguins Hockey Network. Look at Brian Trottier, 29-year-old center iceman of the Islanders. What a career he's had here. 4 Stanley Cup rings to his credit. Second round draft choice in 1974. He's been the heart and soul of this club since that time.
He's bothered by a bad knee, too. He puts that big ice pack on his knee before and after every game. He comes out and plays as hard as if he had 2 perfect knees.
Well, he's bounced back from an offseason last year. Potvin stumbles a bit, looking right wing to Fossey. The Islanders lead 3-1 here in the second, but that'll be an icing call against the New York Islanders. Well, the Islanders with Trottier at 29. Fossey seems like he's been around forever, but Mike Fossey is just 28. It's his 9th year.
Fossey was just yelling, telling the lines when he touched it first. You could see him. You could read his lips. He was saying, I touched it first, but the icing comes back. Play face off to the right of Kelly Rudy. Our trivia question, Equibank trivia question. Who is the Penguins' only first-team All-Star selection before this season? Actually, there are 2 of them. Who are the 2 Penguins who were selected to the first-team All-Star team before this season? Of course, Mario Lemieux has been selected to start on Tuesday night in Hartford.
Doug Bodger. Did you say 2?
No, the only one.
The only one.
Sorry, the only one, now that I think of it.
Shabbat flipped it in, and Pierce saw it. Lost possession to John Shabbat. He fires right at the stick save made by Rudy. Rudy in goal tonight for the Islanders. Billy Smith had played the last 2. Shabbat to hand him back to Shabbat. In front is Bob Erie. The shot to the net off Rudy's right pad. And the Penguins are getting in there causing some problems, but Rudy's making the saves. They're not getting many second cracks at it, though. Mark Hamway is out here for the first time tonight with Brent Sutter and John Tonelli. Brent Sutter takes center right. Now Erie carries the mail into the Islanders' end on the right side. He is knocked down by Johnsson. Play goes on. Hannon takes it free. Got a man on the slot. Shabbat. He risked one, and Rudy cut the angle down, and Rudy's getting stronger now as the game goes on. Hamway almost halfway home in the second period. The right of Romano. Puck gathered in, picked up by Trottier. A backhander off the side of the net. Romano plays it around near wing for Bob Erie. Lead it up for Shabbat. Just on his Blaisdell. He has the only Penguin goal. Knocked off his stick neatly by Paul Boudelaire. Islander defenseman. Paired out with Ken Morrow. Cunnyworth leads the parade back. Cunnyworth, long slap shot. Went to the right point. Schmidt went behind the net. Cunnyworth couldn't quite stop it with the blade. Morrow put it wide of Penguin goaltender Roberto Romano. Schmidt finding Cunnyworth. And this is Blaisdell. He'll sneak it into the zone. Cunnyworth behind the net to board. Comes around trying to stuff it in, and he can't quite do it. He almost got there to beat Rudy on the far side, but it just went wide. Now this is Bourne in front of Bossy, and a big save there made by Romano, and Mike Bossy in front of the net. Well, Romano making some key stops on the Islanders here in this second period. Goaltending's been pretty impressive. The Islanders now with 12 shots already. Here's Bossy shooting again. Romano made that stick save. Blaisdell has the biscuit, and he has Bullard ahead. Can he get it to him? Blaisdell left wing. Blaisdell cutting to the slot. Blaisdell had it knocked off his stick. He had Bullard wide open on the right wing. Lead pass to Dwayne Sutter behind the defense. Breakaway. Sutter shoots, and Romano stops him. Sutter thought he had himself a goal. He raised the stick, but not so. Dwayne, and it's cleared by Pittsburgh up ice. Well, Sutter had the stick up prematurely. Now this is Brent Sutter, and he snaps the puck in.
Well, Roberto Romano has really bounced back here in the second period. He's made some great saves.
Elise Searing gives it to Terry Ruskowski. Now the Penguins need to go on the attack and get one here against Rudy. Lemieux has it. His pass blocked. Lemieux trying to dig it and hold it. He gets it to Shedden with a good play. Back to Lemieux. To Shedden again. He can't quite hold it now. He tried to backhand it. He's knocked down by Pierce on nothing called. And back come the Islanders. Bodies are all over the ice. Mikko Makala. He'll pull up. Leave it for Dwayne Sutter. Out in front of Brent Sutter, and he's knocked down by Mo Bantha as he let it go wide of the cage. Lemieux comes back. 2-on-2 with Shedden. Got a man open left wing. I don't know if he sees him or not. Brskowski's there, and this shot by Lemieux was stopped by goaltender Rudy one more time. Penguins keep it in. And here are the Islanders. Makala passing to John Tonelli. Loney had backed into his own end. Tonelli waits for the play to develop. Now he'll scoot down the right wing. Craig Simpson just on. Couldn't get it out. Left point Poudelier's shot. Deflected up into the green seats here at the Nassau County Coliseum. The score, the Islanders 3 and the Penguins 1. Here in New York, this is the Penguins Hockey Network.
Here's that play by the Islanders on the breakaway by Dwayne Sutter. He really showed a good burst of speed there. He can skate. He came in on Romano, and Roberto got the pads, squeezed him to make the save, and the rebound was cleared. Sutter thought he had a goal. You saw the stick go up. The light did not go on.
Time left, second period. Neither club able to score here in this frame. Boudelier swings it over to Bosty. Now the left wing to Mark Hamway. That's a giveaway to Craig Simpson. Rudy behind the goal. Give it to Frawley. Centers for Simpson, but Kortko, a good job to break up the pass. Roger Kortko. 23-year-old forward for the Islanders. His birthday today. Loney of Pittsburgh carries that puck in. It went off a leg. Frawley trying to out-pressure Hamway to keep it in. He can't do it. But the Penguin Simpson relays it finally to Dan Frawley. And he with a pass there to nobody, and it'll be grabbed by Ken Morrill.
He was looking for Loney there, but Loney went off the ice.
Bob Erie of the Penguins. Two-line pass called against the Pens. And they'll bring it back inside the Penguin line. There's Bob Erie, who came up from Baltimore. Done a pretty good job for the Penguins in goal scoring since coming back.
Now, let me qualify this trivia question a little bit.
Yeah.
There's been one player who's been selected to start for the Penguins in the All-Star game from the Penguins during the season, and there's been one who's been selected as the first-team All-Star in the postseason All-Star selections, which of course take place in June every year up in Montreal. So you have two different situations there, but so really there's two different answers to that question.
Well, I think I know the postseason one. In fact, I'm almost positive of that. So that would mean he's not the same player, is what you're trying to tell me.
Exactly.
Yeah. And here is Flatley firing, and a good save by Romano with his stick at the last second. And Romano right now keeping the Penguins in the game. It's centered out in front. Picked up by Shabbat. Left wing too far for Bob Erie. I'll say Randy Carlyle was your postseason player. And
That's right.
Here's a lead pass too far for Shabbat. I don't think he could have touched it. Would have been a two-line pass. Rudy's going to play the puck. It'll come off near wing to Bob Erie. Erie looks it over. Put it behind the goal for Dave Hannon. And he's double-teamed. Off the disc he goes. Right point. Schmidt. Back to Erie. Erie's worked hard tonight for the Penguins. Shabbat with the puck. Shabbat is a man cutting for the net. He can't get it to him. And Flatley will turn and just lay it off the boards back to center. And that's up into the penalty box. Well, we're going to try and answer that question for you. We'll return, though, in a moment. The Islanders lead Pittsburgh 3-1. 5:14 left. Look at Norm Schmidt. This is the Penguins Hockey Network. Well, we gave you Randy Carlyle, first-team All-Star.
Started in the All-Star game.
I don't think it was it Mario last year. Here's Shedden coming with the puck. I was going to mention Rick Kehoe. It was down between Rick Kehoe, Jean Pronovost, and trying to remember, and Mario.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, Michel Dion started in the All-Star game a few years ago in goal, and I think he actually could have won the car, but didn't. He played well enough to do that.
Well, there's one I didn't remember. I really did. So
He had a heck of a first half, if you remember. That was
Yes,
the
he did.
81-82 season.
Here's Mantha back with Shedden, 2-on-1. A wrist shot, but that missed. And Mantha was pulled down by Gordy Deneen. Back goes the play the other way. And bodies are all over the ice, and Mike Noeth has put the whistle in the pocket. There won't be many penalties, apparently, the rest of the way. Here is Brent Sutter centering. And they are clutching, holding, bumping, hooking, doing everything you might want to imagine. But it's been the same way on both sides here. 4:13 to go in the second period. That pass up ahead to Lemieux. Left wing to Ruskowski. He knew where Lemieux was going to be. Lemieux tried to beat Bossy. It comes over to Bodger. Slap shot. Knocked aside by Ken Morrow. And Cunneyworth has Blaisdell on the right wing. Boudelier to beat a slap shot, and Rudy made a nice move there to cut the angle down on Mike Blaisdell. Lemieux digs it off the boards. Nice play. Lemieux cutting for the net. Lemieux pulled around by Morrow. Knocked down now, and play again continues as Bob Bourne wheels it up. And it's become the situation now where players are not saying anything to referee Mike Noeth because he is just letting this kind of game go. That's the way he's calling it. Mike Bossy trying to find Trottier. He's got some liberties to work with out here now. Boudelier snaps it in. Buskus might have gone the wrong way on that. He's trying to jam the puck up. The Islanders want it. Bossy out in front. You got to be careful here, but Romano taps it over to the corner. Trottier left point to Boyd. He panned on it. And Buskus looks for room as he storms back with less than 3 minutes to go. Left wing, Cunneyworth. And Bullard is hit heavily by Randy Boyd. Right along the near side of the Islander zone. Cunneyworth digs it free. He's pulled down. There will be a penalty called now. As Randy Boyd pulled down Randy Cunneyworth. Well, the Penguins again will put the turkey on the dinner table. You guys might be eating right now watching this one. 3-1 New York. We'll be back to see if they can do it in a moment here on the Penguins Hockey Net.
Flatley in the penalty box for hooking. Mike Bullard was along the boards with Randy Boyd, and it was Randy Boyd who pulled down Cunneyworth. He had come off the boards. He was holding Bullard against the boards, and he just finally decided to let him go, turned around and pulled down Cunneyworth. And Flatley gets the penalty. No wonder he skated over and asked Mike Noeth what was going on, because he did not really commit the penalty.
Well, I'm going to say that Noeth has been pretty fair both ways, but I'm going to say maybe he just thinks that like the Islanders are pulling themselves down. They're doing it to themselves, and maybe the Penguins are committing the penalties against themselves here in this second period. But he's been pretty even. He really has. He's let it go. I mean, they've both done it.
We were talking about Potvin. You mentioned it real quickly that he will not be going to the All-Star game. Mike Keenan had a chance to select him, but decided not to.
That's a big moment in the game, I think, for the Penguins here. Bodger at center point. Backhand went towards the goal. Stop, rebound. Ruskowski can't beat Rudy from right in front. Oh, Jerry gave it a great chance there. Great try there. But Roscoe could not slam it home.
Well, we've talked about the importance of having somebody in front of that net on the power play. A nice little shot by Doug Bodger there to get that backhander away. Kind of surprised everybody there. Good backhand shot, and Ruskowski right there. And look at Rudy get that glove down to make the save on Terry Ruskowski. And then he took a good hit from in front there after getting the shot away.
Ben's win the draw. Here's Mantha. He's got a chance. His slap shot. The save by Rudy again. Lemieux is after the puck. Lemieux to the left point to Bodger. Wheels in. Slap shot blocked in front. Potvan's got it. That should be out of the zone, and it will be. It's just almost 98% guaranteed that Potvin, once he gets the puck, it's out of there. And boy, that's a big advantage. Here's Mantha with 1:22 to go. Shedden didn't know the puck was coming. It goes into the zone, and Boudelier plays it up into the Penguin bench. And Bob Berry of the Pens, their head coach, and Jimmy Roberts were ducking.
And you saw Roger Kortko force Mo Mantha to his backhand there as he came out of his own end. Mantha, the right defenseman on this power play, and the right point man. It's always tough to lug that puck on your backhand. They'll try to do that to a guy who's good at rushing the puck, and Mantha is that. You see teams try to do that to Paul Coffey, too, because every player would much rather carry the puck on his forehand. It's much easier to make a play to one of the forwards up ice. And that time, Kortko did a job of cutting Mantha off, making it tougher on him.
Bodger had it knocked aside, and back it comes to the Penguin blue line. Getting down now to 1:05 to go on the penalty to Patrick Flatley. Bodger moves up. Going to move Lemieux to a point position. And the Islanders again sneak it away.
Now the penalty killing of the Islanders has been big in this game so far. The Pens have had their chances to get back into this hockey game.
And the Bullet looks for somewhere to go with it. Bodger shoots it in. Rudy could not stop it. Bullet's around to take it on the near side. Lemieux in Diggy for with a minute to go in the period. Mantha left point. Shot one towards the goal. Morrow got a piece of that. He'll bang it off the wood. It comes out to Mantha. He's got a chance. He shoots one. Oh, it went over the crossbar right off the glove of Rudy. Bullard gets it near corner to Lemieux. Lemieux swing it over to Schmidt. Head down. Slap shot, a bouncing puck. He gets it again, walking to the net. Here he comes to Lemieux. Oh, he pulled the trigger, and Morrow made a good defensive play to block that. Now Boudelier falls on top of the puck. And we'll get a face-off on the Islanders in. A little luck again for the Islanders there. So went off the glove of Rudy. And he's been a standout in the net. Boy, he looked a little shaky in the early going into the first period, but boy, he's held his ground.
Boy, Mantha learned that. It got all of it, too. Look at that. He got the glove up and knocked it and went over the crossbar, right off the crossbar. And then Norm Schmidt with a golden chance also. Another look at the shot by Mantha. He walked in and he looked it over. He saw that there were a lot of bodies in front of the net, and he decided to kind of fake that shot and go over to Lemieux, who was going to one-time it, and give credit to Ken Morrow because he reacted very quickly to get the stick out and knock that pass away. Good reaction by Ken Morrow. Strictly instinctive type of reaction. Good reflexes. He saw that puck coming. He just reached out and poked it away from Lemieux, who had designs on just one-timing that into the net behind Kelly Rudy.
Now Flatley's penalty has expired. Now down to 34 seconds to go in the period. And Shabbat, Bob Berry, and Dave Hannon. The Islanders lead 3-1. We've had no scoring at all here in this second.
I was going to say Norm Schmidt on the right point there, Mike, made a nice play to keep the puck alive. You can just tell the teams are a lot more wary of his shot now. Of course, he blasted one into the net against the Islanders back in Pittsburgh.
Schmidt again. And from behind the cage, Erie tried to put it out in front. He can't do it. The Islanders are keeping that puck away from that front of that net very well. Clearing people out. Here's Deneen. Gave it away to Schmidt. 13 to go. That'll be no icing. The period should end with the Islanders still with a 3-1 lead. 6 seconds to go. The lead pass right side to Bossy. 2. Got to shoot it in a hurry. Trottier does. And the save made by Romano's left pad as the horn sounds. So we have a scoreless second period here at the Nassau County Coliseum. The shots, the Penguins had 7, and the New York Islanders finished with 18. We'll be back with more here from New York. With the Islanders leading 3-1, this is the Penguins Hockey Network.
In the third period, Shell Kohler will receive gift certificates for Armor Meats and 2 tickets to an upcoming Penguin game because Terry Ruskowski failed to get that puck past Kelly Rudy in that one replay we saw. And if Lemieux can score here in the third period, Sil Crivelli is going to win $300 worth of groceries from Giant Eagle.
Now, Monty, Bob, and Ed were here. Wanted to say hello to Mark Stuff, I think it is, Bruce, and the Street Hockey Gang. Bob Coward, Dave Stump, Wes Coward, and Ray S. are all here. They're going to be in Boston again tomorrow. They're going to see all 3 games in this Penguin road trip. They must have hit the lotto. Here's Busquets. And he throws it up deep into the Islanders zone. We might get an icing call here. And we do. Morrow touches it.
I'd like to say hello, if I could, Mike, to my mother, who is in the hospital. Hope she's feeling better. Big hockey fan. Missed about 3 games in the last 3 years.
Well, we want her back in our starting lineup. We certainly do. Did she ever play the game?
She used straight sticks. I know that.
That's what I was concerned about. Yeah.
Before the days of curved sticks.
You know, they had a practice here Thursday, and you'll love this. They had a practice here Thursday just to loosen things up because it's been a long stay here in New York. Tail end of the practice, Bob Berry and Jimmy Roberts said, all right, gentlemen, you have your sticks, now turn them over. And I don't know what they did. No, they made them take another player's stick that was the opposite of what they are. The left-handers had to take a right-hander's stick and play on the ice 10 on 10. And it was humorous, to say the least. The best player of all of them was Rod Busquets. Who had very little curvature, I guess, on the stick and was able to use the stick quite well. At least the one he got, and he was more adept at using the backhand with the stick. And here is Gilbert now of New York, throwing that puck in. Bodger winds it around for Bob Erie.
Well, an early goal here would just be such a big lift for the Penguins. That's what they really need to do. Come out here and get a goal quickly on the Islanders. They did score 5 goals in the third period against them in that 6-3 win. Very important to get one early here.
Offside call against the Islanders. There's a fellow Vic here gave some very interesting stats here. If you'll let me see that, and I'll make mention of some of the things. The Islanders had 13 blocked shots in the second period alone. That's a very high mark. The Penguins had but 2. So the Penguins were offside 7 times, the Islanders 4. And out of the 18 shots the Islanders had, 16 were considered very high-quality shots against Roberto Romano. The Penguins had 9 quality shots, they would call them, not ones necessarily that hit the net that they had opportunities on. Penguins have won more faceoffs than the Islanders tonight, 28-24 going into the third period.
Back in the first period, he gave us a rundown of the faceoffs, and John Tonelli had won 6 and only lost 1, and Brian Trottier had won 3 and lost 6, which is unusual. And Tonelli was taking a lot of draws against Lemieux in that first period.
Sirin drills it in. And Gordonine avoided Lemieux. Mantha leads it ahead for Shedden. Got Lemieux up ahead. Lemieux takes it against Potvin. He shoots one, and the stick save made by Rudy. He tried to go between the legs in the 5-hole, but Rudy got the stick down. Here's a check by Sirin on Mikko Makala. Potvin, who has been very steady defensively for the Islanders tonight. Ruskowski of the Penguins trying to find Lemieux. Lemieux trying to get himself untracked here. And it's wrapped off the board. Sedin finds Makala. Ruskowski's all over Brent Sutter, but Dwayne Sutter takes control. Dwayne Sutter steps into Ruskowski. He goes right to Lemieux, to Schmidt. Not a good pass there by Schmitty, and it's taken by Boudelier. Lemieux, though, finds the puck again. And it came outside the line and knocked back in by Jim Johnson. We have 2:17 gone in period number 3. And the Islanders lead at 3-1 over the Penguins, and this is the Penguins Hockey Network. The Penguins lose to the Islanders tonight. There is one salvation. They only have 1 game left for them. The rest's away.
It's not easy for the Penguins. They have to go into Boston tomorrow night and play the Bruins, who they beat earlier this season in Pittsburgh.
Now the Bruins tonight are playing in Montreal, so they'll have a tough game on their hands in their own division. This is Mike Bullard. Blaisdell was the only Penguin scorer. Schmidt in the slot to Cunningworth, a turning shot. He got good wood to it, but he missed the cage. Boudelier to Bourne. Tapped off ahead to Trottier. Schmidt gave it away to Bossy. Bossy right back to Cunningworth. Jim Johnson looking for room. Can't get it into the Islanders' zone. Johnson had it checked away by Blaisdell. Pierce on the beat. Blaisdell goes down deep. Going to go behind the net. Pearson tried to cut the angle on him. Couldn't. Left point. The pass too hard. It went right by Jim Johnson. Bossy with a great speed after it. Jimmy Johnson got back to get there before Bossy. Schmidt a little deep play. Pass right through Frawley. The Penguins with Simpson, Loney, and Frawley on the ice. Dwayne Sutter cranks one up off Bodger's stick, and that's up into the seats here at the Nassau County Coliseum.
Now, tough for Dan Frawley. He was not really expecting that pass because Norm Schmidt threaded the needle to get it over to him. Now Frawley hitting his stick on the ice, upset that he was unable to take that pass from Norm Schmidt. Nice pretty little pass by Schmitty, threading it through one of the Islanders up to Frawley, but the puck went underneath his stick. Watch Craig Simpson on the draw against Roger Kortko.
Simpson might have a chance against Boyd. He's behind him. Simpson cutting for the net. Simpson in on goal. His backhander. Oh, Rudy made the save of the night for himself there to deny Craig Simpson on a breakaway. And Rudy coming up top, centered by Simpson. And that's played away. Well, Simpson had an opportunity for the Penguins to get back within 1, but a better save by Rudy, who I thought was a little tentative in the first period, but boy, has he come on strong, too. Now Frawley throws it up deep into the Islanders' zone. Rudy appeared to read that play very well. On the backhand attempt by Simpson. Buska's push it up for Frawley, and Simpson takes over. Simpson's been coming on for the Penguins on the right side, giving the puck to Frawley. It went through traffic. Potvin cleared from the slot. Roger Kortko. Can't go in. Gilbert was offside. Kortko, full 360-degree circle. Leaves it for Flatley, and he'll blast it in. Scramble for the puck. Who will get it? Lemieux comes away. Lemieux might have a 3-on-2 here. Frawley went to the bench, and that slows that down. Mantha follows on. He gives it to Mantha behind the defense. What a play there, but he's pulled down. Penalty coming up against the Islanders. Dineen pulled down Mantha. Here's Lemieux centering. But the penalty against the Islanders, Gord Dineen. And the Penguins have a power play chance once again with 14:54 to go in the third period. 3-1 New York, and this is the Penguins Hockey Network.
Van is in the penalty box for hooking at 5:06. This is Mo Mantha going in on goal.
Yeah, that was the right call.
That was the right call. It was Potvin who pulled him down, and then he ended up underneath Gord Dineen. Here's a look at Craig Simpson on the breakaway. Simpson, not known for his skating, but he was able to pull away from Randy Boyd here. Went to the backhand, and Rudy, look at that save, getting that pad down. Good save by Kelly Rudy.
Well, the Penguins again have it on the line. Here's Lemieux pulled down. He was hurt on the play as Mario is down in the Islanders zone.
Terry Ruskowski is over to have a word with Mr. Sutter. He wants a piece of Brent Sutter. Something Sutter did to Lemieux, pulling him down.
Well, the barking now starts here.
Boy, he really knows how to bark, too. Terry Ruskowski loves to stick up for his teammates. That's what it's all about. And he went right after Brent Sutter to give him a piece of his mind. There he goes.
Now Lemieux and Brent Sutter have some words. Well, Lemieux and Brent Sutter.
I'd like to see what happened. There's no way of knowing. Lemieux just ended up on the ice in a heap. We really don't know how he went down, but it looked like he got his legs pulled out from under him because he appeared to hurt himself. Like he hurt his, he might have pulled his legs and hurt his legs somewhat when he went down. And there's Sutter. And those Sutters come to play, and now Lemieux talking to him.
Well, we'll get a change of penalty killers here for the Islanders. Pat Flatley comes on with Roger Kortko.
Now, needless to say, Mike, this is a very important power play for the Penguins. They've been playing with the Islanders here, but they're down 3-1. They just haven't been able to cash in on the power play. If they had been able to do that at the end of the second period, this might be a much different hockey game already. This is an important power play chance right here.
And the Penguins go to a change. Lemieux's going to sit down. Bullard comes on with Ruskowski and Shed with Mantha and Bodger. They make a change. Lemieux comes to the left point as Bodger goes right off. A little trickery there by Bob Berry. Got Lemieux out here, though. He comes around left side. Lemieux to the left point, going to Bullard. Bullard now, swing it back to Mario. To Bullard, center point, slip shot. The save is made. Rebound scored. Doug Shedden puts it in. Boudelier and Ruskowski square off now, but the Penguins have scored, and it's 3-2. Wow. Hallelujah, Hollywood. Now Ruskowski involved with Boudelier, but Shedden a big goal there for the Penguins, a power play goal.
And give credit to Mike Bullard because he can really shoot the biscuit, and that time he cranked it up and got all of it, and the rebound came out to Shedden, and he put it into the net. You saw Boudelier and Ruskowski having words, and Boudelier got very brave once a couple of his teammates stepped in front of Terry Ruskowski. Ruskowski right in front of that where you have to be, and then Boudelier gave him a shot after the puck had gone into the net. You see the rebound come out, Shedden right there to deposit it behind Kelly Rudy to make it 3-2, and then Ruskowski and Boudelier got into it. Big goal for Doug Shedden.
Shedden scoring for the Penguins, and now it's a 3-2 hockey game. So the Penguins back in it, down by 1.
Shedden with 24 goals, and this brings the crowd to life here. They want to give the Islanders a boost.
Well, Lemieux inspired too on that play. Bob Erie puts one on, and Rudy makes that stop. Off the near side, here's Hannon stepping into Bob Boyd. Frontier swings it out ahead to Mike Bossy. Long shot. What a blistering slap shot that was, but it missed the net. Boy, that was like a howitzer there going away. And into the left wing to Bob Erie. Now to Shabbat. In the Islanders' end. See, Erie cutting for the net. His shot. Rudy stopped him cold right in front. Erie stopped by Rudy as he cut it in the left wing. Well, I think Bobby might have had a chance to go to the backhand. He might have been able to beat Rudy, who read the play very well. Lemieux and Bullard on the assist for Shedden. And wants to play here as Shabbat puts in Bob Erie.
Shabbat overskated, but he was able to get back to the puck, and Erie came in. He tried to pick that short side on him and almost got it underneath the arm of Kelly Rudy. Rudy, I'm sure, thought that Erie was going to cut across onto his backhand, but Bob just hung onto the puck and decided to snap it up in the air, try to get it underneath the arm of Rudy, and Kelly Rudy just able to get his elbow down and make that save.
Well, Rudy held his ground well by Jim Johnson at the left point. 3-2, the Islanders lead here. 13:55 to go in regulation time. Mike Bullard runs into Ken Morrow. Now Blaisdell finds Randy Cunneyworth. He'll put it in. Hit Boutilier's stick if he takes command of it. We'll get a face-off in the Islanders' zone. Well, Rudy certainly has made some good saves for the Islanders, as has Roberto Romano, and we've got a 3-2 hockey game. There's Mike Blaisdell.
He's got the other Penguin goal here tonight. Doug Shedden with his 24th of the year from Bullard and Lemieux at 5:28 on the power play. The Penguins finally break through on that power play, and Mike Bullard played the point at the end of last year on the Penguins power play, and that time he was at center point, and he really made the play by getting that good hard slap shot off. Kelly Rudy not being able to control that rebound.
Well, Roberto Romano's got to be happy. He knows his team's back within one, and he kept them in the game in the second period with some excellent saves. A good goaltending night. And an offside call against the Penguins.
Mike Blaisdell barking, and I'm pretty convinced that he has a right to bark. It looked like he was back across the line when the puck was sent back in. There's Ken Morrow. They call him the Wolf Man, and no wonder why. He saw that shot of him. That's exactly what he looks like, is a wolf. Or a wolf man, I guess.
Well, I've said it before. He was born with that beard. Here is Morrow. Boudelier takes command of it.
I'll tell you, one thing he wasn't born with is bad knees, but he's got them now. It's a shame because he really was an unbelievably good defenseman. He still is, really, but he just had that tremendous range, and he could just clean up his own end in a hurry. Of course, he played for the U.S. Olympic team, gold medal winning team.
Let's take a timeout. 3-2, the Islanders lead, and this is the Penguins Hockey Network. Now, the 24 he has, the place he was to the right of Rudy, Rudy's right, I would say he probably has 15 goals from that direct area, right on the doorstep, the edge of the crease this year. Bruskowski back on here for the Penguins. Now Lemieux takes the pass. And Lemieux gives it to Shedden into the Islanders' end. Drop pass back. That's right to Mikko Makala. Makala turned it over to Doug Bodger. And Bodger pushed it up into the Islanders' zone. A lot of time left in this hockey game. It's 3-2 New York. The Islanders led 2-0. The Penguins cut it to 2-1. They got 3-1 at the end of one, 3-1 at the end of two. Bruskowski off wing right side. Boy, Lemieux's inspired right now, and that little altercation with Brent Sutter's got him pumped up. Dwayne Sutter, though, to Potvin. Back to Dwayne Sutter. Shoots one up Romano's glove and went right over the crossbar. Brent Sutter behind the net to Dwayne. Hit by Lemieux. He tried to center. That hit Lemieux's stick. Bruskowski carries it out. I think he's a bit tired. He wants to come off here, and he does. Simpson with Loney. Shedden still out here in the right wing. He can't come off. Bodger feeds it up to him. They'll try and get it to Simpson and get to the bench. Simpson does take the pass. Islanders in. Borden to beat. Couldn't pull it around. Randy Boyd. Bossy on the right wing. Snap one on the net. Romano made the save. You got to get there in a hurry to clear the rebound, because Bossy will follow on in a hurry to get to it. Buck off Loney's stick. Pearson with command of it, going to Bourne. Momantha, 25-year-old Penguin defenseman, and he does carry the puck up. Into Islanders' ice, down the slide, a wrist shot of Rudy, made a pad save on him. Boy, Mantha's had some great shots tonight. Now behind the net, centered by Frawley, and clear to the far corner, Mike Bossy. And that's through all the way to the Penguins' end of the rink. And in Pittsburgh real estate, Mo Mantha goes right wing to Frawley. Penguins trying to get new troops out here again. Frawley checked on the play by Roger Kortko. And he should be thinking about getting off here now if he can. And we've got an offside call against the Pens with 11:03 to go here in the third period. Well, we've got a pretty good hockey game going now. The Penguins hung tough in that second period behind the goaltending of Roberto Romano. And, Rudy's played very well, too, in the goal. Made some tough saves here in the third period. Here's Mantha's shot. That is a great shot Mantha had there. I mean, unbelievable.
He can shoot the wrist shot, and it was a stick glove save that Rudy made there with the blocker getting it down to knock it aside.
Boudelier to Morrow. He stumbles. Bullard took it away. Bullard goes to the corner, but Morrow is able to recover. Taken by Cunneyworth behind the net. To Blaisdell. Bullard goes in front of the net. Blaisdell turns, shoots that one wide. Schmidt will gamble, come in deep, and he put one on the net. Not much on it. Actually off to the side of the goal. Kortko around right wing for Pat Flatley. Wayne Sutter gets there. Put the backhander on. Romano had the angle covered. Jim Johnson. Up ahead it comes to Bullard with Blaisdell. Bullard left wing. He can fire. Trying to shoot that puck, but Deneen forced him away from the circle on a good effort. Wayne Sutter. Man in front. Kortko shooting, but he missed the goal. Good setup play by Dwayne Sutter, but Kortko couldn't pull the trigger. Here's Lemieux back on man open left wing. Blaisdell with Cunneyworth trailing the play. Blaisdell shoots it. He had Cunneyworth wide open on the right side. Now Blaisdell runs to the Kelly Rudy and play goes on. Now Blaisdell probably should have passed the puck to Cunneyworth on that play. Rudy's going to argue with the referee, Mike Noah. There should have been an interference call. 3-2, the Islanders have the lead. 9:53 left. This is the Penguins Hockey Network.
Now here's the play with Roger Kortko. Watch where Norm Schmidt is on this play. He's way across ice. He has to come back to recover. He had cut over to go over and take that right winger on the play, and both defensemen were on the other side of the ice. Then Schmidt came back and didn't recover in time. Kortko was there, took the shot, and missed the net. A few times the Islanders have been able to suck that right defenseman over to the left side and then hit the guy coming in the back door late. It's a set play, and they pulled it off several times here tonight.
Morrow directs it into Penguin territory. On the right side, Flatley behind the net for Johnsonelli. Centers, but Lemieux is right there to clear it away for the Penguins. Left side, Boudelier a shot. That deflected. Flatley behind the goal. The Islanders looking for insurance. The Penguins trying to keep them off the board. Lemieux put it off the wood and up to center. That play by Lemieux is the type of play he's been going with here over the whole season, really, in a defensive role in his own zone. Penalty coming up against the Penguins, and I knew this one was coming. 10:51. They argued about the Blaisdell call, but the Penguins have one coming, and there's just no question, and Noah was going to make this call. We'll pause. 3-2 New York, and this is the Penguins Hockey Network.
It's argued, and Mike Noah said, okay, I'll remember that, and he took advantage of the first time Bodger got the stick in the air. Bodger reaching around to grab Pat Flatley. Got a little piece of him with the blade of his stick, and high sticking is the call. At 10:51, the Islanders on the power play.
Trottier centers it, and the Penguins come up with it, and they'll deal it up into the Islanders' zone. 9 minutes left in regulation time. Well, the Penguins have to weather a storm here, but they are within one goal, and Dennis Potvin looked ahead. Shabbat breaks up that play. Potvin with the puck. Finds Trottier, left wing to Stefan Pearsall. Up it comes right wing to Mikko Makala. Drop pass to Bossy. Bossy has Trottier in front. Stepped around one man. Trying to get the shot off. He can't. Makala off the blade of Bossy. And here are the Penguins 2-on-2 shorthanded. The Islanders have given up 6 shorthanded goals, but Hannon will lift it to the Islander net and chase off here as the Penguins go to a new penalty killing crew. Trottier had it knocked down by Cunneyworth. Mantha shoots it heavily. And we're down to a minute to go on the Bodger penalty.
Penguins penalty killing has improved because they've decided to get back and start playing in that box and setting up in their own zone.
Well, they've got to be more aggressive than they are tonight here. A little bit more against the Islanders. They gave up one power play goal. Cunneyworth hooking against there's Searing with a stick up around the head of Johnsonelli. That one might have been a penalty there. That was more high sticking than Bodger. Searing got the blade up right around Sinelli's left ear. The Islanders running out of time, and here's a pass by Rudy. That might be an icing call. Now they wave it off as Schmidt goes in. 25 to go. Schmidt all the way to the net, some 200 feet away. Dwayne Sutter giving the puck to Brent. 14 in the penalty. Good stop by Mantha. The Penguins have new life right now. You can feel it. Here's Hannon down the near side. Boyd to beat. And an offside call against the Penguins there. Well, the Penguins will settle for that, though, with 7 seconds to go on the penalty to Doug Bodger. And 7:16 now left in regulation time. There's Dave Hannon, who we featured at the top of the telecast tonight. Just a good, hard-working journeyman hockey player who comes to play every night.
See Al Arbor, he's got a little paunch going for him now. Bob Berry. Al Arbor, interesting. He played defense. He scored 12 goals. We talked about Dennis Potvin having broken Bobby Orr's record for goals by defensemen. Al Arbor didn't come very close to that record. He had 12 goals in 12 years. And he was an outstanding defensive defenseman, along the lines of a Kenny Morrow type player. Very tall, lanky, could clean up his own end. Used to argue a lot with the referees, which I guess prepared him for being behind the bench. And he wore glasses when he played. A few guys to ever do that.
Penalty is expired. Bodger is on. The Penguins back to equal strength. Puck into Pittsburgh ice. Korko has it. Korko behind the net, trying to stuff it in. Now he's got a man. Nope. He shoots the puck by Romano. And the Islanders have the lead now 4-2. Roger Korko getting a big goal for the Islanders. He had Romano down and lifted it over his body. And the youngster did an outstanding job there of avoiding the check by Lemieux. Lemieux just unable to hold him.
And all you can say about that is happy birthday, Roger Korko. He turns 23 today, and he scores a very big goal. Lemieux coming back, trying to poke it away from him. And Korko hangs onto the puck and throws it over Roberto Romano, and then Lemieux would like to have broken his stick in two. He smashed it on the ice, upset with himself. He did manage to poke the puck away. Romano kicked it out, but Korko hung right in with the puck and was able to turn and put it up over Roberto.
The season was number 11, Roger Korko.
Well, the Islanders have a big goal, and Brent Sutter is whacked by Lemieux from the faceoff. Lemieux put the timber into him. And the Penguins down by 2 with 6:45 left here in the third period. Steal by Flatley. He moves in, a shot on Romano. Off the blocking glove. Shedden is hit by Gilbert. The Islanders will pick the tempo up now in an effort to try and really put the pressure on the Penguins. They lead by 2. Potvin just took an easy check from Shedden, but got it to the Penguin line and threw it in, the offside play. Korko from Pat Flatley and Ken Morrow.
Kind of came out of nowhere, and
I was looking for him to pass to somebody, but when Romano went down on the play after making the initial stop on the short side, it just kind of rolled off his body. He was helpless if Korko could get it up, and he went up the ladder and did the job. 4-2 New York. And they rip it to the Penguin net. Romano now is going to hold it.
Lemieux was there. He had gotten the stick down to poke it off Korko's stick, and actually Romano made the save on the puck after it had been poked off the stick of Korko. It was really Lemieux who made the shot by pushing the blade of Korko's stick, and then the puck came off Romano's skate, and Lemieux went behind the net, and Korko was able to stay right with the play and make the goal.
Deneen put one on the cage. Romano able to stop that. The Islanders now with 13 more shots here in this period. Lemieux coming to the Islander line. Try to beat Deneen. Got around him. Lemieux still with the puck. Mario right side. Mantha's wide open. He shoots it. Potvin gave his body up and blocked it. And that's why he's been an all-star for many years. Tonelli left side. Lemieux is after him. Tonelli turned to center, and Tonelli took a whack at Lemieux with his stick. Now Lemieux runs into Greg Gilbert. Loosen the Penguins in. Lemieux going for it. Now Mantha and Tonelli have some heavy words. And somebody, Boyd comes after Mantha.
I think Randy Boyd was trying to be a peacemaker there, believe it or not.
Well, we'll take a timeout as they settle things down. The Islanders lead 4-2. Back in a moment right here in New York on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Mo Mantha and John Tonelli in the penalty box for slashing at 14-12. Here's a play by Potvin on Mo Mantha. He faked the shot, and Potvin just kept on coming and blocked his wrist shot. Islanders came back up the other way with the puck. That was a nice play by Lemieux there to set up Mo Mantha at the right point. Mario has really been skating much harder and with much more intensity here, and ever since that little battle that he had with Brent Sutter.
Mike Bullard with Randy Cunnyworth and Mike Blaisdell. Cunnyworth will leave it for Jim Johnson. He will shoot it in. The big insurance goal by Roger Kurko, giving the Islanders a 2-goal cushion. Johnson at center. Trottier puts pressure on. And Bossy swings it over to Boudelier. The Islanders playing catch with the puck right now, killing the clock. And Morrow shoots it out the boards. That's an offside call against New York. Well, down now to just 5:11 to go, and Jim Johnson, the Penguin rookie defenseman. Penguins basically going with 6 defensemen. Better part of the year. Of course, Randy Hillier down in Baltimore recovering from a knee problem. Jim Magoo also down there.
I asked Jim Johnson before the game how he was handling the grind because there were 50 games into the season, and of course he played 67 last year. Most college players don't play that many, but that was over a long stretch of time up through the World Championships in Prague. And he said he's gotten used to it. He said it's just routine. It's no different than school. It's like going to class and have to take a test, and then that night playing hockey. It's just something you get used to after a while.
Over to the Islanders, trying to center. Comes out, lost by Flatley, but he gets it back from Dan Frawley. The Islanders playing their best hockey of the year right now. Lead the Penguins 4-2. Frawley moves up to the Islander line, avoided a check by Flatley. Kearsarge. And a big jam up as Frawley and Simpson work the corners heavily. Simpson in against Boyd. Boyd rams him with a heavy check. Put that stick up around his ear. That stick is up now. Boyd and Simpson have pushing match going. Boyd works it around the wood, but did he get it out? No. Buskus right point. Puts it back in the corner. Troy Loney is hit by Boyd. Boyd's throwing out checks like it's the first of the month, and guess what? Today is. It is Bodger. Back on the net. Now Loney and Boyd mix it up and again around the goal. At center with 4:03 to go in regulation time. The Islanders leading 4-2. Buskus right wing to Frawley. He wants to get off here. He's going to get caught for icing, I believe, though. And he did. He wanted to come off, but he got caught for icing. We'll pause with 3:53 to go in the 3rd period. The Islanders lead by 2, and this is the Penguins Hockey Network. Face off to the right of the Penguin net. Schmidt trying to find Lemieux. Unable to do so. Mikko Makala's pass, avoiding Dwayne Sutter. Penguins down to 3:35 to go in the 3rd period. Shedden relay a pass to Lemieux right side. Going to crank it up. Oh, a good shot, but a better save by Rudy off his right pad. Lemieux upset that he couldn't get that one by Rudy. Well, Rudy must be given a little net when Lemieux looks up. He must see something there because he's fired it off his pad several times tonight. Rudy's able to squeeze them together or get the pad where he wants to put it. And Lemieux's been frustrated tonight.
Lemieux does have a good shot when he has room to take it from that right side. Rudy does stand up very well and just makes the saves.
Lemieux won the draw to Mantha. His blast, and Rudy again says no. Well, the Islanders out shooting Pittsburgh 40-24. They didn't give the Penguins much as far as quality shots are concerned, but I don't think Mr. Rudy's been that bad a goaltender. I mean, he's made some key saves when he's had to, and Romano played well, especially in the 2nd period for the Penguins. We still have time left with 3:24 to go. What did Lemieux have through the first 2 period shots? 3?
Just have the 1st period one here, but in the 1st period,
well, look at the 2nd period.
Had 4 shots.
In the 2nd?
In the 1st period, he had 4.
Well, I would say he has 3, maybe 4 here in the 2nd or 3rd period. He had a big night as far as shots on goal are concerned. He had 1 in the 2nd. That's 5, and he's, I would say, around 3 here. So he's got to be up around the 8 shot mark. Behind the net, here's Shedden trying to come out. Erie is there, and he is knocked down by Trottier. The Islanders have the puck, and they clear. 3 minutes to go. Mantha shoots one in front. Erie's trying to tee it up, and he can't. Back come the Islanders. Trottier's got a man open left side. Dwayne Sutter cutting for the net. Put it in, and Romano got a stick down. It went right up his stick over his shoulders. Deneen shoots one. That deflected up the side of the goal. Might have hit the outside of the post. Wayne Sutter digging. Red Sutter there behind the net. Played out to Trottier. Goes left point to Boudelier. Shoots it in, and it went to Romano's left. Romano tired and getting up, and here's Lemieux at center. Lost control of it. Mario appears to be tired right now. They're trying to get new troops out. Red Sutter. Turned around by Mantha. And a face-off coming up in the Penguin zone. Well, you've got a 4-2 Islander lead. Penguins had a game here. They lost 7-4 in New York. If I'm not mistaken, the Islanders, I think, had two empty net goals in that game.
Yeah, they did. They scored a couple of late goals in it and made the score look like it was a lot more lopsided than it was. Penguins were right in that game up until the end. They're going to have to get one in a hurry here if they want to have any prayer of getting Romano out of there and trying to get the extra attacker on.
Well, the question is, will they call him in favor of an extra attacker being down by 2?
And there's the man that must answer that question.
And he will. Norm Schmidt. Flip it up the left wing. It's by Cunneyworth with 2:10 to go. Randy has it now, and he'll drive it up into the Islander zone. Frontier trying to move it out. Bullard is over. Frontier knocked him down. Bullard keeps it in, though. And here's Frontier right back in the action. Hoping the puck to center. Bodger couldn't handle it. Bossy after it. Cunneyworth turned it away from him. Frontier to the pins in. The Bossy right wing. Look out. A wrist shot. Romano made a big save there. The rebound. Played out in Blaisdell at Pittsburgh. Blaisdell. Shot it off the glass. Blaisdell is very well covered. Frontier sent it around the horn. Bourne trying to move it out. Can't do it. Up in the air. Mantha knocks it down with a glove. He had a man open. Cunneyworth around the net. Couldn't get it to him. Morrow ties him up. That's a nice little defensive play there by Ken Morrow. Just to take Cunneyworth, the man, out of the play. He could never get to the puck. Boudelier with 1:15 to go. And the Islanders are on their way to winning another one against the Penguins this year. With 1:10 left in regulation time. Mantha to center. Now here comes Romano off. The Penguins pull him. It goes to Shedden. He shoots one, and Potvin got that stick down to block it again. Potvin reads the play so well. I don't know if I have mentioned, I said about Potvin. To me, the best defenseman against Lemieux I've seen in the National Hockey League. Mario has not been able to beat Potvin one-on-one or make a move where Potvin hasn't read it on equal terms, if not better than Mario. And any other defenseman, including the Paul Coffeys, the Ray Borks, and other people we've seen over the now 2 years that Lemieux's been in the league, he at least has been able at times to do that. Not Potvin. Not in any way.
Well, now Bob Berry is going to give some instructions to his players. I'll tell you, Potvin has been such a big part of the wins for the Islanders against the Penguins, too. Even when the Islanders were playing poorly and the Penguins were on the verge of taking third place away from them, that seemed to be their motivation. They would come up big, and particularly that night that they beat the Penguins 9-0. But the game at home that they beat the Penguins in the same situation where the Pens were trying to overtake them, Potvin came up really big and played really well, and he just continues to come up big in the important games for the Islanders. And Brian Trottier and Mike Bossy have done the same thing. Bossy obviously starting to come on and play his kind of a game. He has really sparkled here tonight also. He's had some shots that are just unreal. Now it's just less than a minute to go in the game. The Penguins need to get a goal in a hurry here.
Now they'll pull the goaltender for the extra attacker. Lemieux, Shabbat, Ruskowski, Shedden, Mantha, and Bodger. Face off inside the line. Brent Sutter against Mario Lemieux. He's telling Shabbat, move on up down the boards. And the face off won by Lemieux. Mantha, throw it in behind the net. Ruskowski has to go all the way to the left wing corner to get it. Now to Lemieux. Wrist shot, he shoots and scores. Oh, buy Sam a drink and get his dog 1-2. Lemieux finally gets one by Rudy. And it's 4-3 with 52 seconds to go in regulation time. Oh, Lemieux worked so hard all night with shots on goal, and he finally drills this one by. He saw someone, Rudy, this time, and he beat him on.
28th of the year, went right past Doug Shedden, too, was parked in front. You saw him just shovel that puck towards the net. He caught Rudy by surprise, and he placed it perfectly inside the post. And And
think about what happened on that play. You saw Lemieux motion to Shabbat. Move over here. I want you here. Won the face-off Mantha. Down the boards and behind the net. It came back out to Lemieux. Lemieux called that play. He knew exactly what he was going to do with it when he won the draw.
And Raskowski's the guy who went after the puck in the corner. He had to chase it out along the boards. Lemieux positioned himself in the circle, and Raskowski slipped it over to him. And Lemieux quickly got the shot away to get the goal.
Goaltender remains 45 feet from the net. 52 to go in regulation time. The Penguins win the draw again as Lemieux has it. Here comes Romano off, and the Penguins go to the extra attacker again. Rudy has it. Morrow going to Bossy. He tries to clear. He does. Up it comes to center. 4-3 the score. The Islanders have the lead with 38 seconds to go in regulation time. Shabbat moving up, 35. Shabbat will blast it in. Rudy stopped it. Good play there. And the Islander defense comes in to try and take it. Lemieux trying to tie up Morrow. Bodies all over the ice. Lemieux digs it free. Lemieux now's got a man. Mantha, he's right there. His shot. Where is it? It was blocked. They came in front. The Islanders have it, and they can't clear it out. Left side, Bodger. He shoots it in front. Lemieux is shedding there. Backhander save. Rebound. Lemieux can't put it in. Lemieux now with 12 to go. Shabbat behind the net. Out it comes to Raskowski. Shoots it, but it missed the goal. 7 to go. Right side, Mantha. Mantha trying to put it in front. He can't. 4-3. Bodger shooting. It's all over. Ah, what a great performance for the Penguins. The end of the game, but they can't score against Rudy. And the final tonight as the Islanders hold on for dear life. They defeat the Pittsburgh Penguins, the final. The Islanders 4 and the Penguins 3 in the 6.
ICENET. Dynasties live here.
Always get the very best coverage tailored for your needs. We understand living on Long Island because we do too. We're all Islanders, and if you want Long Island's best team for insurance, go for National Security Brokerage. You'll feel secure with National Security Brokerage. Let's go Islanders!